All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me here again tonight. Woo! All right. I know it's been a long time since we've been here. Hopefully everything is coming through okay. I've been messing around with some of the settings inside of XSplit along with Ustream in order to give you guys the best stream possible. It's been one heck of a trip so far. So we've got a lot, and I do mean a lot, to cover tonight and show you guys tonight. Yes, David Gaifa, absolutely. You should be rolling in an old Cadillac with air suspension pumping up and down. Absolutely. So, but thank you again here tonight for all of you guys who are watching us. David Gaifa, I know you're on. X-Ray Charlie, Yolman, Toladib, June Lee, who was on here earlier. If you join us again, thank you very much. And to you beautiful lurkers who guys are out there, thank you again for joining us. And hopefully everything that you see here and everything that you're hearing is just fine. So yes, we are in the old building today because we have a couple of things in the new building which have got to be aired out. So not to say that we're not in the new building, we are. It's just that we're split as of right now as to what goes where. So half the stuff is still here in the old building, other half's in the new building. So I know. Guys, if you haven't done so already, there are these wonderful for summer, these mango pops that this man right here introduced me to. I gotta tell you, very few calories. Awesome, absolutely awesome. So
they're almost pure mango. 60 calories a popsicle.
It's fantastic. So
we get them at Publix. You might have to go to Safeway.
So yeah. Considering that X-Ray Charlie's in Cupertino, that lucky man. So, yeah.
What's he doing in Cupertino?
I have no clue. Absolutely no clue.
We got our eyes on you, man.
So, but for right now, this is where we're going to be broadcasting. Everything's going to be going through Ustream for right now.
Did you explain why?
Yes. No, I have not explained why. For those people who were on earlier, I did explain, but I'll explain it one more time. Just Not TV has removed all recorded broadcasts. So after yesterday, actually after today, there's nothing going to be available. And the reason why they did that, according to the email that they gave us, was that Just Not TV had so few views on the recorded broadcasts of other people that they've just removed them because it was too much of an expense for them. So we have moved to Ustream because of the fact that they will continue to record and they will also upload these types of things, along with putting into Ustream. One of the things I do like is that on the old broadcast that we have, which we can upload for only 30 days a piece, that they will play them continuously. So if you start with one, it'll go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. So if you wanted to just watch this 24/7, actually, that'd be kind of creepy. But if you wanted to, you'd be more than happy to. So, yes. So, X-Ray Charlie says he's in Cupertino for work. So, yeah. That is fantastic.
I think it's the Good Earth restaurant or the Whole Earth restaurant.
The Good Earth restaurants? Or
it's a Whole Earth. Which is it?
Where? Whole Foods?
No. It's a Good Earth restaurant right down the street from Apple's old campus. Oh. Really good breakfast.
Okay.
I go there for breakfast all the time.
Yeah.
We're not about the food. We're about the printers in just a second.
Yeah. Well.
All right, we're doing this so you guys know we're human. We actually eat.
Yes.
Let me throw a few quick things at you. Other reason we're really over here is multifold, faceted, but one of them is the building that we are moving into. We had to kind of put the brakes on for just a few weeks because it turns out that the fire marshal brought to our attention that the sprinkler system hadn't been checked in over a decade. And this required some upgrading, which I believe was done on Friday.
Yes, it was.
But it has to be inspected. So once it's inspected, then we can start moving stuff over. Yeah. But if you go over before it's inspected and passed, then what they do is make you move the stuff back out before even they come do the inspection. So you can imagine our dilemma. Anyway, good thing we're comfortable and have popsicles just a few feet away. We're making the best of it. So
save us.
Yeah, if anything, we're working harder than ever and actually making 1 billion tons of progress. So I'm very pleased with the way the supply chain is coming to light. One of the things we were going to show you guys Well, there. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but that's one rack of Emo 25s all completed. And we've been blessed in that out of the sky, Maker Joe, that's the man's name. He's started working with us, and he has the gift of being able to assemble stuff and the feel and the belt tension and how tight a screw should be. You know, something you get from working on equipment for a long time. And he definitely has been a welcome addition to the team. And I look forward to seeing how he evolves, and I look forward to developing equipment with him, actually. I think he's got a good sense of how things should work and fit together. So welcome aboard, Maker Joe.
Yes.
Another thing that's come about recently is as our supply chain is picked up in China, to the point where we're through the third round of drawings and build cycles. So we finally got brave enough that we ordered over 100 printers. And that's in no small part to many thanks to Charles at Midnight Manufacturing for support and pointing things out to us we were doing right and wrong. But Charles is greatly appreciated.
Yes.
So we're blessed in many, many, many ways right now. We're still alive, still kicking, and we have Wally orders and printer orders, so much so that we're cross-eyed most days. The last printer that came in, the last module, went together in about 25 minutes with no hole changes, nothing. We just screwed together and the fit was perfect. So we're actually finally getting some relief there. We've just had so many engineering changes that it's nice to not to have to keep playing hopscotch when you get stuff coming in the door. The firmware, the software has come along, and I'm going to share with you guys in a few moments what we finally discovered was the root cause of more grief that all of us have gone through. And I haven't even told Hutch yet. So I'm going to share this with the world because I believe the world is using Repetier hosts, and I believe that there is an anomaly that you will find on some versions of Windows, on some hardware, that will make you pull out what last hairs you got. So with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and clear the air on that one first. We've just proven it out. I've had to modify the way that the communications goes. But the way it worked with Repetier host was they originally used a interrupt upon receiving characters, which is normal. But the problem is that they also do a lot of processing inside that interrupt. And it turns out that it's possible to receive more characters while the interrupt is being processed, and it doesn't refire the interrupt. And it has to just happen just right timing, but what you end up with is a non-acknowledged situation. Well, that coupled with the fact that we have multiple sources for the acknowledges, which we've taken care of, and we still couldn't figure out why we got a different phenomenon. We stopped the one, but we started getting another one. It's doing the testing. And what the testing we've been doing this last couple of weeks has been that coupled with I've been testing the multiple heads ping-ponging back and forth, which I'm happy to report is working quite nicely. So what we found out was we had to change that event fire, and I went back to a tried and true thing we've been using for the last 5 years on our other product for the serial processor, and the benefit is that it also comes with a binary data visualizer so that we can actually watch the data coming in and going out in binary if we want to, which for those of you guys that are bit bangers know how important that is when you're trying to check the status and what characters don't print that you can't see that are really coming through anyway. Anyway, it's proven in just a few minutes to be extremely valuable, and I'm going to leave it there as an option, meaning that normally it takes some CPU time to report it, but I'm going to leave it there for people that are trying to make custom communications, because there's nothing worse than not knowing what's really being sent and what's really being received at the lowest possible level. And we have a lot of people now, not just one or two, but more than a dozen that are going to be using the SDK for developing custom heads. So I felt like to make this feature a part of it made perfect sense. So you can actually see the data traffic going in and out. it will be my goal to also add a CAN bus visualizer so you can see the data on the CAN bus as it's going by. Although that was going to run a little bit different than you guys might imagine, and no, I'm not sharing it with you guys yet. He won't let me. But it involves using an external USB cable, which I'm not saying anymore.
Thank you.
What else is good? I mean, everyone's seen the nice emos with the nice reduction, so that's not a big deal. I don't know if everyone's seen the new super improved all steel, super strong X arms. I don't know if anyone's seen the
those who have come by.
Yeah, the latest of the USB hubs that go on top of the Y-arm yoke. And I guess while I'm at it, does anyone want to see what the... No, I shouldn't do that. I can't do that.
We can show them that. We're working on the shooter
more
heads.
here.
Just a few more shooter heads, Mark 1s. So for all you guys, these are all... You guys notice, these are all for the engines this current time. So, as you can see right there, so they're still in the process of being put together. We're just making sure that what we have here is curing just fine when it comes to the silicon RTV. So, but we've gone from silver to black. We've got a couple of pieces that have been anodized. We're going to try these guys out, make sure that everything's going to print just fine with them before we ship them out the door. But so far, on the newest styles, we like the way that they've come together. And so far, printing-wise, I like how they're printed. So, very, very well. And hello, Seraphius. How are you doing? All right.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
is that Kavan?
Yes.
Mr. Red system?
Yes. Oh, you're a little on the edge.
Oh, I put it on here because I didn't want to bang on this other stuff. I just a little bit. There we go. So one of the other things that you guys can't see too well, but let's see if I can get it moved around.
Okay. I can also move the camera.
I'm going to try to rotate this up a little closer. I'm trying to get an angle shot too. There you go. Can you just tilt it up a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, one of the many engineering marvels that we've gotten recently has been the new improved Y-axis arm. And why is it new and improved? Because we had it made out of extrusion, and the extrusion is light and strong.
Yep.
And oh, yeah, it's coming.
All right.
Hold on. And it comes in any length that we want up to 5 meters, which means that same principle can be extended. As in, it drops right into your printer, and you can now have a much longer axis. Some people were wondering just how big you could go. We're not sure yet. But it's bigger than the system. We promised everybody that we would be able to grow sometime in the future. That is one of the things that allows you to do it. The other thing that is nice is that new metric extrusions have arrived, and we're
testing them right now.
We're testing them, but we're very happy with them. The people who have been making them for us have done an unbelievable price, and the quality of the machining was through the roof. I mean, their precision was on the money. I loved it. So we're quite happy with that. And let's see what else was there that's going on that's noteworthy. Well, there's some other top secret things that I'm not sure I can say anything about because he'll beat me up after the broadcast.
I would like to say this though for everyone who is watching. If you had any ideas as to what to do with the Just Not TV channel, we were thinking about possibly using that as a place to show, because we can't record anything, as a new place to put the drop cam. Because we, in order for us to enable the drop cam and for us to use drop cam, it was going to cost us quite a bit of money, a ridiculous sum of money. So because the quality is a lot better on Just Not TV, and yet they're allowing people to stream for free, we were going to push, at least I was going to push that we use Just Not TV as a place where you can see where our prints currently happen, and on top of that, so you guys can watch ad-free. Get yourself an AdBlock Plus or AdBlock Plus for Mozilla Firefox, and you'll be able to watch whatever you want to watch ad-free on Justin.tv. So through our channel. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So, but if you had any other kinds of ideas with that particular channel, which we cannot record anything, unfortunately, then send me an email at HYREL3D@gmail.com, and we'll try to make it happen. So, yeah. There's a lot of things that happen.
I don't know if I showed anything with the foam we cut.
No, we have not. Yeah, I think that would be very interesting. Carl has been monkeying around with a couple of new individual pieces for the, for a new particular type of attachment which goes onto your machine, and that tends to cut things quite nicely. And for those people who have been asking about it, we showed something at one point in time that we could do it, but we have not shown the fact that what we have created so far with what we have. So there's the foam cutouts, guys, and as you can see, there's two emos. There's two Mark ones that one of them is complete, one of them is not 100% complete. But we wanted to test them out. We wanted to make sure that the unboxing of the whatever extruder heads you're going to be getting in the future, along with any particular type of extruder heads or whatnot, are going to be put together. And when it comes to you, it's going to come to you nice, safe, and sound, and in perfect condition, or well, as perfect condition as any one of the logistics companies can get it there. So, and we're trying to combat any one of their feature-adding abilities. So, put it nicely. Yes.
I don't know what happened to the part that was going on top.
The two pieces on either side were the plasticine pieces.
Well, what happened to the box that had these in? Did we ship it out? Did someone actually get it? Oh no! Hey, whoever got the first one of these guys, yes. Keep it, man. It's worth. Although we shipped this version of it. No, I'm kidding. So you can see it's made for up to 3 of these and a whole bunch of nozzle tips and stuff over here.
Yeah, that one went to MIT. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. That was a good choice.
Yep.
Cool.
So
little by little things are coming together still, and nothing's new.
We're definitely not resting on our laurels, guys. We're busy, and extremely hard work.
Small thing.
So, anyway, so when it comes to the laser, it works. The attachment works. It cuts. It does give off quite a bit of fumes, even with this particular material. But we wanted to tell everybody as of right now, please, if you're ever going to use something like that, you're going to need to have some protective glasses, and you're going to have to sign a release form.
It cuts dark foam. It doesn't cut white foam. I don't have that much power in it yet, but it does a great job of taking black paper and writing on it.
Yes, it does.
And if you slow it down or raise the power, it actually cuts the paper too, so that's kind of cool.
But you don't want to look at where the beam is cutting. It's,
blue glasses is the ideal thing.
Yeah.
And this right here, which I'm just going to hold up for a second, is the stainless steel cartridge for the Emo 25s. So those of you guys that have been waiting for the stainless steel one, this is one of them. We have some other ones in process that will hold more volume, including the Emo 50 volume. But, again, it seems like it's painfully slow, and it's incredibly slow, but little by little, as the supply chain gets worked out, we have a lot less supply chain effort and a lot more time to push on with the R&D, including the firmware.
Oh, yes.
So that's been a godsend.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's the same song next verse.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving forward.
Yes. I haven't shown them the fact that the production is in full swing, and if you guys give me just 1 second, I'm going to try and see if I can get I can pull this out. No, you're fine. You're fine. So now, just let you guys know, this may hopefully does not destroy our stream. So if it does, I do apologize. So just give it a moment. Okay, we got that part going.
Oh, you only got
let's
Windows
see.
Explorer.
Yeah, no. That's fine.
Oh, you have AMCAP running? You may have to restart it because it turns itself off after X number of seconds.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Here you go. Come on. So, one moment, guys.
This is a picture of a person taking a picture of a person.
Okay, hold on a second, guys. It's just... Okay. So what I'm doing here, and you guys aren't seeing what I'm doing right here just because I'm trying to blow it up as fast as possible and make it show as fast as possible.
Look, is that smoke? Just kidding.
Okay. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to add... Here we go. Okay. So we've got more system in process, as you guys can see here. There we go. And it's a total of 5 of them. Putting them all together, and
4 of those are actually
four.
available.
That's right.
The
And
5th one
is
is one we're upgrading
Yeah.
for less.
So Les, yours is here. So
We sold it on eBay, but we got it back yesterday.
thanks. So as you guys can see, we are not slouching at all on any of this. We're going to go back to the full screen here. Just want to show you guys that just for a second.
Don't you have 10 more right in the next room here?
Yeah, actually we do. So, you guys, hold on just for 1 second.
There you go.
So, quite a few more.
Waiting to go for their home.
Okay. Okay. There we go. So David, Yeoman asks, will you be able to do some engraving with that laser?
On some materials, and what's funny is it actually leaves a really nice mark on painted surfaces. But the aluminum surfaces, I understand there's a material to put on, which, as a matter of fact, someone has pointed out to us, but in the past, unfortunately, I can't read that text; it's so small.
I know.
But I'm not sure which surfaces it will and won't mark on. I just know that it does great for what we were trying to do, and that was create custom packaging with it. And I actually have put marks on the front of one of my pieces of equipment testing it to see if it would write on painted surfaces. I can verify it does write on painted surfaces. There's a whole bunch of effort to do there, and really all we were doing was just doubling up our efforts, meaning that I had to test the printer at slow motion because we're going to be working with some really stiff materials that will not flow. So I had to slow the print rate down 95%, and when I did, I got anomalies, round-off errors, and I figured it out, but I needed a way of making marks so I could track what I was doing. So I popped out the laser that we've had in storage for several months. I put it on and started using it, writing on paper, thinking how cool that was, because it gave me a perfect trace of the trajectory. And then I realized that we might as well just crank up the laser, throw in the foam, and start making some of the packaging we needed, since we talked about doing it for a year and a half. And that's what it did. So I am dying to use it for engraving. And so we're going to try my favorite one would be black anodized. I have a real need for it myself. So we'll let you know how that goes. I don't want to make any promises on that. If you want to cut gray foam 1 inch thick, it does it about 1 inch a minute. It's not fast. But that's because I only got only 3 watts out of this right now. I have a 10 watt one that we're going to be testing in a couple of weeks. I have it, but we got to order a special lens for it because it has to be focused down to a spot. And then I have a oh no, I'll show you. Hutch hasn't seen this. It just came in 2 days ago.
Is that the big box that came in the other?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. So, so X-ray Charlie, what was the wattage of the laser you were using? Yes, a 2 to 3 watt laser. No, 3 watt laser. And David Geico, does that laser etch in that spray-on stuff I showed you? Not sure. You might have to refresh my memory. I'm sorry, it's been a little while. Let's see. Oh, and as for the wet or dry system, it's a wet system. Well, it's a dry system right now, but after they flushed it out, it's a wet system again. So, yeah. So we've been messing around a little bit with the design here and there in order to make sure that what we have going forward is going to be a lot less tedium when it comes to making these things go together, along with getting you guys as many machines as fast as possible. So, all the trainings as of right now, for those people who have asked me via email, those particular types of training, people who are wondering where the trainings are happening, they're not going to be happening here. So if you do come by, we're going to be doing the training all over at the new building. When you message us, if you're going to be coming in for that, please message us beforehand. We'll give you the location of the new building, and then go from there. So once everything is taken care of legally wise over there, with the whole fire marshal issue, then we will let you guys know when you can start coming over. So, but everything's going to be still done remotely. Carl, have you ever heard of something called Theramark? It's very interesting, David. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. A Thermark. Thermark? Wow.
Well, I don't know what happened to it.
What were you looking for?
The 100-watt laser.
Ah.
Don't worry, we'll show it on one of the other broadcasts. I'll slice some salami with it or something.
Okay. So,
Oh, yeah.
So, was it David Geico was asking about the Thermark, if we've used it before.
I have not used it yet, but it does work. It's an acid that's sensitive to temperature, so it activates it, and then it etches the metal off. It leaves a nice mark.
Okay, I see. Oh, wow. Okay.
And we finally have a new source for our digital trams. So I've got one of them right here. And what happens is we get them and modify them so that the ears run straight down here, because we're not using it for a wide depth gauge. And then the back still mounts right directly inside of the holder that is still standard. And the nice thing is about this is it's got a little 0 button on there, so you just put it over top and hit the 0 button and you get your plus and minus readings. The other nice thing is that this has a port on here which they've left off, but we're going to look at putting the connector on because there's supposed to be signals that can be read. Greg was nice enough to work on this a ways back and make a lot of progress on that for one of the digital trams, but
Yes. Thank you, Greg.
not a solution that I could use just quite. Anyway, enough to be inspirational for us. So we're going to go ahead and throw it on the connector and see if we can read these automatically, because that's the next step towards auto leveling, interpolation, good things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's that little tidbit. So I'm trying to think if there was any other thing I really wanted to share. I got my glasses on. Let's see what people are asking.
Just so you guys know, there is the delay here is a lot worse than Justin.tv. It's roughly a 20-second delay. So if you guys want us to answer any questions, please go ahead and start asking them in the chat room. Well, just go ahead and start asking them, and we'll do our best to answer them as best as possible. So, Xforma 23, yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. All right. Trying to think of. No, and I'm not going to share that until it has to do with something with the new building. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to share that just as of yet. Not until we're fully in there.
Well, we're gonna we apologize for the last month and a half. We've been thinking we were going to be set up permanently, and then we were kicked out. And kicked out's not the right word, but let's just say we would not be doing well if we were broadcasting live from the other building just yet. Yes, we are able to ingress and egress, but we're not supposed to officially be doing business out of there until the fire marshal gives us the CO. Hopefully that will be Monday or Tuesday, and then we can start doing the broadcast from there, because it's really a nice little room and facility and everything.
For those of you who've already taken the training classes with Dave and myself, it's very nice.
Yeah. There was one little tidbit there. I'm trying to remember how much we did or did not share, but the point I was trying to make was, i.e., how much broadcasts we have or have not done and what we said on them, since there have been so few of them over the last 6 weeks. We will resume making regular broadcasts the moment that we have that, or we'll do that, or we'll maximum go 10 days or so between broadcasts at this moment if we can't get back in there, but I can't imagine it going past this week.
No.
The reason I'm saying that all is that we want to do some multi-head prints for everybody live. I know that Les out in California is dying to see that, and I know quite a few of you also want to see that. And so all the firmware already comes with the multi-head thing, and it's right now I've got it so that it's pretty straightforward to switch between one head and another. You just give it the T command for tool, and pops to the next head. Now, I'm sure there will be a million variations that I'm going to have to start accounting for, which will make it more complicated. But if you're running two heads, they are completely independently controllable. The temperature, the speed rate, are all, i.e. the flow of the material,
the fan,
are the fan, absolutely. So those parameters are definitely easily manipulatable, and easily you set it for this head, you set the other one for that head, and you just tell it which tool you want to print with. What is not easily changeable will be different Z layers at the same time, something like that. For that, I have something else planned and have been testing it, and it won't come out in this release because I don't want to wait any longer to release this software. I want to get it in you guys' hands. But the next release will do this. I've already run experiments with it, and it's a way for us to mix the different G-code objects and run them in a ping-pong hopscotch fashion simultaneously in such a way that we can do multi-material, multi-object prints at different Z levels, meaning I can float a ball on top of a structure that I built with something else without having to call the something else support structure. So literally, I can print you a goblet, and then I can print the wine that's supposed to go in the inside as I'm printing the goblet, and you design the wine and the goblet separate, and then we merge the two together and print, and it actually is quite painless to make it happen. It's actually as easy or easier than it currently is to just move an STL object around on the STL viewer. So I'm really looking forward to releasing that. I think that's going to be a real quantum leap in printer friendliness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to the negative printer friendliness at the moment. So we will look forward to that one for sure.
Absolutely. Yeoman asks, what's the best way to load the job to the printer? I sliced some models today on my PC and an estimated 3-hour print time, but when I loaded it in the printer, it actually took 7 hours. I didn't check if it came out good yet. So, I'm not sure if these still...
Actually, wait, I don't think you're running the more recent one, because the more recent one actually takes into account the variance in feed rates and would give you a much more accurate estimate. So let me get you the new software, everyone the new software, and then it does estimate when you load the G-code, not the STL, but when you load the G-code file, it will estimate, and when you redo the feed rates, it re-estimates live. So that should, I think you need A35.
No, not A35. Not A35.
Well,
You're going to have to go directly to
1.02?
at the very least.
Okay, I don't remember which one was doing which, but anyway.
A35 was the one that was right before you had the estimates put in. And that was the one that you were testing with 26A when it comes to the firmware.
So 35 was the last of the old acknowledge code. Okay.
Correct.
What I did was I broke the numbering system because I didn't want everybody getting confused, including me. So when I went to the new acknowledge code, I started with 1.0, and right now I'm at 1.02. So at release will probably be 1.04 because I expect a couple more debugging days on this.
Yeah.
I have a couple of features I really want to be releasing simultaneously with it. But when we get back to 33, we'll probably be some confusion, but that might hopefully be 5 years from now, and we'll have too many people running 33 anymore.
No, I think once it's released, guys, you'll be able to download it off the wiki or through our website, and we'll have all of that. Also, if you prefer using Google Drive, we'll give you access to that, but you have to ask us permission for those particular files there. When it comes to everything else, when it comes to A33, there was a firmware update. There is a software update going from A33 up to the 1.0 series. So just so you guys are aware, and we will walk you through that stuff. So
yeah, and once you do that one, it's pretty painless after that to keep it going. It's a little bit of work to make the first upgrade, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So James E. Ballin asks, just got on. What is the status of shipping the Kickstarter orders? Good question.
We have, about half of them shipped? A little bit less than half?
Yeah.
They're all in process, like it always have been. But this group that's coming through right now, we have an excess of printers, so all orders will be shipped as I receive these. They start shipments end of next week.
Yeah.
And we will receive them middle of the next week, and then we'll process them through. So within 3 weeks, we will start in mass shipping out the rest of the back half of the orders. But remember, people that didn't take training are the ones that get the last units to go out the door. And we have a lot of people like the ones in China that are requesting that we ship them straight out of China. And Hutch and myself will be over there starting in the middle of July, or maybe around July 10. To actually go through the full assembly with our partner over there. And notice I said China and not Vietnam because that hasn't really panned out from a manufacturing standpoint. But our guys in China have stepped up to the plate and have saved everyone's bacon in this case.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't know what we do. We would take another year to get it out, and I don't think that's a happy thought. So that's the story. So we will be shipping all the Kickstarters during this summer, and everyone will get them, and what you get will be much, much, much better than what we have been shipping.
Yeah.
So
will you post what will be shipped in order and post on your site? That's a good question, James E. Ballin.
We have the list, right?
We do have the list. I just need to get with Aldea and get her set up on on putting everything up online. And that's one thing that I haven't done yet.
We have a new person who started a month ago or so, and she has gone through all the Kickstarters and all the irregular orders and tried to figure out who's got what. Mm-hmm. And believe me, it was no small feat.
No.
But for sure, she's done a magnificent job. A lot of stuff fell through the cracks, in all honesty. In some cases, we've shipped stuff we weren't supposed to. In some cases, obviously, we haven't shipped stuff we were supposed to. So she has really helped us get
organized,
T's crossed and I's dotted, and appreciate her efforts very, very much. We will ask her to prepare that, whether we post on the website or whether we share Google Docs with those of you that are Kickstarters. I cannot say. We have a real weakness in administering our website at the moment. So rather than put something up on the website, I would prefer at this moment to probably share a Google Doc so that each and every one of you that's left to have a printer delivered, you'll be able to see who's what and who's on what name, and you can watch us tick it off.
Yep.
So, because if it's on the website, we're not going to keep it up to date, and then you're going to be really confused and probably frustrated because you'll see no action. There's a reason we still have the November special on the website. Or has that finally come off?
I
think it's still there.
It's still there.
That said, don't think we're not addressing it. It's just that we're swimming with two arms and a sackload of cement.
Yeah.
So, but it's coming together. So, what can I say? Anyway, that's why I'd prefer to share a Google Doc. It'll be live. We'll make it so you can view it but not edit it. And I'm sure we have your emails. Feel free to email us and remind us, Mr. Bowden. I don't even know who you are, so this is the first time I've seen your name. I apologize for that.
He's been on a couple of times before.
But I don't know you, so I apologize. Normally, I know most of the backers and Kickstarters, and
so
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's now a special, quote unquote, special offer.
Oh, good. Well, at least that got changed a little bit.
Yes.
Oh. Thank you for that.
It's hard to find a good website person.
Yeah, it seems like it's like, what is the right word? Like signing up for a CD book club. Yeah. It seems like it's going to be no-brainer in the beginning, and the guys that we talk to, well, we've been blessed. Tide's been helping us with the website all along. We went to a couple other guys we thought would be able to hook us up and get us going, and the talk was cheap and results were poor, and we decided just to leave up what we had because what we were paying for wasn't going to be as good as what we already had. That will improve, but I think more than anything, Tide's waiting for us to improve our literature and stuff, and we're coming along on that, but not at any time to brag about. That's for sure.
Yeoman asks, so a while back you said you would explain why the camera is where it is and what it is supposed to do.
Okay, I'll be happy to tell you that. The camera is there as an inspection calibration tool, and you won't appreciate it until I do the multi-prints. When I do a multi-head print, you'll see that there's an algorithm that lays down two lines, one from each of the heads, and then it measures the distance automatically between them so that we can figure out what the offsets are. It requires just a little bit of interaction from you right now where you just jog the button until the two crosshairs line up. But we have the ability to actually detect the crosshairs and should automatically resolve that shortly. Mm-hmm. That said, those cameras were really mostly important for calibration, automatic calibration. Originally, we were going to do a laser and actually have 150 lasers in the next room that are all low milliwatt for doing a angular trajectory detection. The problem is with the glass build platform, the laser didn't work. So we could go to a frosted glass possibly, and we're still looking at that. And we don't want to tell the other people out there exactly what we're trying to do on that. Just know that it's in the works. That said, the camera's whole job is to be able to take pictures of the print bed at fairly close range to give me a good XY position offset between the print heads, because that's when you ask from one print head to another, i.e. from support material to your non-support material, how far the differential in XY location should be, so you can just start printing right on top of where you left off with the other head. That is specifically what the camera is there for. That said, we realize that a second camera located at the end of the Y-arm would be ideally located on the print engine to take pictures. Now, a really smart guy would have included a couple of channels to run some USB cables that would not be visible to the human eye.
Who was that?
Who was that?
Yeah, who was that when I came up with the idea?
I have no idea, but it was somebody who I just love to death. Anyway. Let's just say there's not room for one but two USB cables to come out to the end, and it's really easy to mount. We haven't shown anybody how these things work. Well, we've shown a couple people. But the extrusions, one of the beauty of having a custom extrusion designed is that we were able to put our T-slots for M3s, M4s, and M5s in different places. So if you want to mount a camera anywhere on the arm, the cableway's already there, and so is the lockdown point. So it's just like 15 seconds, and you can move a different camera, a second USB camera, to any mount point you want to have any vantage view, and we think that's a nice move forward. And the software that we have for the cameras allows you to pick which cameras you're utilizing, and that was another thing that's out there. if you see the size of our distribution package, the bin folder, you're going to go, my God, someone wrote an incredible amount of code. Now, the truth is someone did, but it wasn't us. It is mostly the vision software that runs the cameras. Believe it or not, I think it represents 90% of all the code base.
Yeah.
But that was through an open source platform, EMGU, and they did a great job with that. You'll appreciate it a better, not too distant future, I hope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And Yeoman, I hope you're available on Thursday afternoon. But I let Dan know what you mentioned to me about your bed turning.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I am 99% sure after talking with him that the screws underneath, if they're not able to tighten them, we can send you new screws. If that doesn't work, we'll send you a new print platform. I mean, there's no way that should be an issue. So don't worry, we'll make it right one way or the other. And yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we want to really share at the moment.
We've just been doing it 24/7.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of other details that we're not going to share at this time about what we've been developing. Most of them are not significant, other than they are the next generation of a maturity of the product. So far, everything has been forward and backward compatible. We have something to show you guys in about 3 weeks. It's out being made. When it comes back, it's going to be a real interesting response from everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'd just say stay tuned for that one.
it's the 1-2-2-1 configuration.
Yeah. Nah, don't need to go any further.
No further. Come on, man. Anyway, it's all good.
I mean, as much as I love our competition, I would rather not give them a leg up.
Well, I don't know how they'd even come close to that. So,
Well, still.
yeah. Anyway,
So,
I think if there's not a lot of other questions, I'd be glad to sign off on this soon.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to say one little thing. Okay, he can hit me if he has to. Nah, not you.
Okay. Good.
They'll have to watch the next product release brochure.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold off on that one, please. Let's see. Yeoman says, please add anchor option to parts placed on build platform.
You know what? I know just what you're talking about, and that's on the chalkboard right now.
Yes, it is.
It's absolutely on the chalkboard.
Because once I arrange parts and then load another STL, everything shifts all over the place. Yeah.
And it technically shouldn't be tough to do. I've got 2 guys looking into it right now. No, I'm not looking into it right now. I just showed them where to look and go play with it because I am busy getting this firmware software generation release out here, so I'm not lateral on it.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, Yeoman. Yeah.
I've experienced it myself. And one of the more frustrating things is you accidentally have multiple parts selected and you don't realize it.
Oh.
And then you go to change the scale of one part, it changes the scale of all the parts, but I know that's never happened to you. So,
Yeah. All right.
good. Hey, listen,
So-
we appreciate everyone's patience and support. I mean, you guys have all been fantastic. And really, we are not on vacation. We are working. Well, it doesn't look like it. We had popsicles tonight. But that was our reward for doing the broadcast. So,
Oh, yes.
um,
And making sure that everything was up and running and you guys are actually able to see us tonight.
yeah.
So,
Hutch did a great job as usual getting this set up. I mean, he switched over between 2 o'clock this afternoon and now. He had to go and sign up and figure out how to make this work and all that.
I had to make
So-
sure that I was going to work with Ustream before doing all this stuff. So I spent a better half of a week making sure that all this stuff was going to be fine before I gave him my credit card. You guys know how that is. You pay for software that doesn't work? Fine.
Never had that happen.
No, never. Yeoman says, and the angles have to be reset as well. Well, if the parts get anchored to the one particular part,
It'll
yeah,
freeze it. It'll freeze it.
the angles.
Angle size, X, Y, and Z location should all lock, and we can do that. We can. That's actually. I'll be surprised if they can't get that done this week.
Hawk and
I have Hawk working on it.
Good.
Just Hawk. I actually don't have the other guy. I'm decided.
Yeah, I understand.
To wait on that one.
Okay.
But I think Hawk can handle it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He has a sort routine he's working on tomorrow, and then that's the next thing on our feature list that he's going to look at. We're trying to figure out a nice algorithm for sorting the moves so that we can be more efficient on our printing. Sometimes we see it's going here and then jumps down there and then goes back here, all on the same level, and we're thinking we could do better than that. So we'll see.
So it's not a big deal. He thinks it would be cool.
So, totally agreed. Totally agreed.
Absolutely.
What would be cool is to have your printer reliably printing. That was what would be cool. Let's see if we can get that next step going. It bugs the heck out of me that your table is moving. I can't tell you how much that bugs me. So, I have been running mine well over 1,000 hours, and I haven't done any screw tightening of any kind. So,
I have not. Yeah, I've not done any of that to Agent Zero to the Engine Zero. That is over at the new building.
Well, the only thing I can think of is he's not getting to the back two screws.
Oh.
Because they're kind of hard to get to.
Yeah.
We actually made a design change to move that forward 3 millimeters so we could do that. Oh, by the way, the new tables are coming too.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that, guys.
We have a shipment en route for some new stuff always, but usually what happens is we shoot for Fridays because when we have a shipment come in on Fridays, it usually lands on Monday at no extra charge because the time change. And if you ship something on a Wednesday, it still comes on the following Monday because it gets stuck in the weekend. So we always look forward with happy feet on Monday. Sometimes they don't make it. Sometimes it gets stuck in customs. And then we don't get it till Tuesday, once in a while Wednesday, but I'm hoping it flies through. I got the notice last night that it was on its way from DHL. That's usually a good sign.
Okay.
The customs isn't always the U.S. customs. Sometimes it's the China, Hong Kong interface customs that is looking for Tiki Laundry type stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, Brody Guy says, I will be very happy when the latest software is released.
That makes all of us.
Speaking of software, I have something to announce. For those people who are out there, I know, wow, Dan actually has something to announce. For those guys who have received this type of emo, okay, this one, as you can see right here, not the one with the large gear that's out here, but this one right here, we have the recipes available for the plasticine, okay? Worked with Davo on Saturday, and we dialed it in. So now we have the right recipe, 600 micron build with plasticine with this guy that you guys can go ahead and get started with, and will work and works actually quite well. For those people who have the one with the larger gear on this one with the engine pushed out a little bit further, that is another one that I'll be working with Davo this Monday. So I will have him switch one small little thing, which will allow you to use the old one with the right recipes, the right slicer Slick 3R recipes for the plasticine. So if you want them, please email Davo for right now while we get them organized and put them up on the wiki for you guys to download. But if you're looking for them, we have the very first ones for these guys. So for the plasticine, and it works.
Great.
So, all right. So that took us a little while, but now we're back up and running on that. So.
What do you think if the pictures were stripped into position? Could we share the manuals with at least our current public and get feedback from them?
If the pictures were stripped into the manual, meaning if it would just...
Well, we call it stripping. It's from the old days where they used to lay strips of tape down.
Okay.
So, in other words, we have a manual and they need to finish cropping and applying the pictures to them.
It means something completely different to my generation, but that's okay.
I understand. Okay. You guys are from the $2 days.
Yes. Yes, okay.
I forget. I have an unusual background, so... They call them strippers. Really? You get a job as a stripper. I know, it sounds like it's terrible, but You would sit at a table, a glass table, and you would lay out this and cut with a razor blade. Every magazine that was ever done was done by strippers.
And I know everybody who's watching this, who's the older generation, is going like, "You little punk, you don't even know."
No, actually, if you
No,
didn't work in the magazine photo separation business, you wouldn't probably be involved in that. But
No.
CYMK, baby.
Now that I do know, but I never knew that they were called strippers. It's like, soda jerk.
My brother-in-law worked for 20 years as a stripper.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. So did my mother-in-law, now that I think about it. Oh, God bless her. She was one amazing person, and I mean that in the best of way. Really.
Wow.
She was a saint. And she could cook the best T-bone steak on the planet.
Wow.
Good stuff.
That is good stuff.
All right. All right.
So, yeah. Whew.
Well, without further ado, I think we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour here, and we're gonna let you guys go. But know that we're definitely on the job, and we're definitely alive and kicking. And I'm hoping that the Texas two-step, i.e., the move going back and forth, will be solved in the next couple days. And happy to report Windows 7 is stable.
Yes.
And happy to report that our software is running on it stable.
Yes.
Happy to report the firmware is reacting stable.
Yes.
And happy to report that the UARTs are now behaving correctly as predicted. So, yeah, Jim and others, we very much look forward to putting it in your hands. I'm sure you will find anomalies that I did not find, but I mean, it needs to do the basics first. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So, guys.
We'll tell you all a good night, and again, happy Father's Day to all you guys out there.
Yes. Happy Father's Day, Carl.
Oh, thank you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. If you're watching, thank you very much.
Oh, you know what? I
So,
didn't even mention
yeah.
this. Without Joe has been also that's Hutch's dad. He has done so much to help. He comes over and buys me a cup of coffee sometimes and lets me just bleed all over the table. And he's the only guy I can actually talk to like that. So Joe, if you're watching this, 1,000,000 personal thank yous for me. And Charles, another 1,000,000 to you. And all you guys out there, Les Music up in Seattle, Greg, all you guys, thank you so much for everything you've contributed to our well-being, to our mental lack of craziness, and just overall being friendly to us. And we appreciate that very much. So God bless you all. And we're going to see you next week.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night.